Who needs fat tires on their electric trike? Stick around to find out. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry. Today we're gonna answer the question, who needs fat tires on their electric trike? Now before I get into it, hit that subscribe button below, stay in touch with us here at Sixthreezero. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, I've got 3 of our trikes here, our Simple Glide, our fat tire, and our standard tire, and our Relaxed Body, which has a mid-size tire, which is a 3-inch tire, versus our 2-inch wide tire on the Simple Glide and our 4-inch wide tire in the Simple Glide fat tire. All right, so we get a lot of customers here in San Clemente, and you know, it's about 60-40, I would say, riders that want a fatter tire versus ones that like a thinner tire. And often I want to have a conversation with them about why do you want a fat tire? Why do you think it's better for you? And the reality with me is, I want every rider to just get the trike that they feel most comfortable on. So whether that's a regular tire or a fat tire, that is totally up to them to decide. But I like to ask in advance because, number one, the biggest thing people want, I think, is stability. And there is truth to the idea that a fatter tire will give you stability. But with that said, there's other ways to add stability to an electric trike. The length of the frame, the width of the rear, just the overall design, really. How high the rider sits, are they back, the weight distribution, all of those things add to the stability. And the reason I bring this up is because I do feel like a fatter tire on an e-trike has some downsides. And again, I say this not trying to push anybody in either direction of buying fat tires or standard tires. But the reality is traversing hills on a wider tired trike will be more difficult. So a narrower tire is going to roll easier and smoother up a hill. Now, even if the motor is smaller, so as an example, this Simple Glide right here is 500 watts, this one is 750 watts, you get almost easier to get up hills on the 500 watt in many situations. Now, a 3-inch wide tire with a 750 watt is better than a 500 watt with these thinner tires, but these 4-inch wide tires, they create a lot of drag. And when you're ascending hills, that could be, again, more drag on the motor. And the heavier you are, over 200 pounds, coupling that with a wider tire, it's going to make going up hills more difficult. Now, again, with the pedal assist, you should be fine. But again, these are all factors that play into the difficulty of getting up a hill. So really, it's something to think about. Now, the other thing too is the fatter tires are gonna drain the battery quicker. With that said, a lot of fat tire e-trikes do come with a larger battery. But if all things created equal and the batteries are the same, the trike with the thinner tires will get more range. Again, less drag, easier for the motor to perform, doesn't have to work as hard to turn the wheels on this size tire versus that size tire. Now, the other thing I want to point out is I've had test riders this week and a handful of them actually chose the thinner tire trikes. And the reason they said that is because they said, you know what, it just feels more manageable to me. And so that's another thing, right? Some people just think the thinner tires, it's just easier to turn, which it is. Less resistance with the tire when you go to turn. Now again, this is totally subjective and everybody has a different opinion, but that is something that often comes up. It's also a little bit bulkier, right? A little wider, a little heavier, not much with the fat tires, but if you think you want something more compact, a little easier to turn, you'll get that with a thinner tire versus the fat tire. So now, the one thing I'll say is if stability is your #1 paramount thing over anything else, fatter tires are definitely the way to go. But if you're gonna be doing longer rides, traversing hills, then you start to have to factor in the other elements, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do some hills, but I want stability. Maybe you go for a 3-inch wide tire. Or maybe you're gonna do a lot of hills, you still want stability. Well, the Simple Glide's super stable and it can take on hills with the thinner tires. So again, all things to consider. Also, are you riding off-road? The other thing I'll say about off-road is, there's different levels to the off-road experience, right? There's hard-packed trails, which almost feel the same way that pavement would feel, right? They're so densely packed and hard on the surface that the trike's almost gonna ride the same on that trail than it would on pavement. Then there's more bumpy terrain where you wouldn't want to bring a 2-inch wide tire on. You'd want something like a 4-inch wide tire to be softer as you roll over that uneven terrain. So again, you need to think about if you're going to do a lot of that really aggressive bumpy riding, yeah, you want a 4-inch wide tire. But if you're going to do more of the really hard packed dirt trails, you could get by with a 2-inch wide tire, especially if the trail's mostly flat, it's not really uneven. A 2-inch wide tire would be fine, or you could opt for a 3-inch wide tire. So I know it's a lot of things to consider. I see a lot of customers come in for test rides, and initially they always think that they want a fat tire, and I try to just ask as many questions as possible to really discern what is the best option and what features will suit their riding habits, but also their confidence level and what's gonna make them feel confident, and also, what's gonna be something either they can bring with them if they wanna bring it in the car, take it with them to trails. There's so many factors to weigh. And if you guys need help with that decision making, you can reach out to us and call us 310-982-2877. You can email us, the team at sixthreezero.com. You can also comment below. Also, all 3 of these trikes are linked in the description if you want to check them out. We also offer a 30-day test ride your e-trike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We also warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we take care of it, parts and labor. And if you want to come out for a test ride, we're here in San Clemente, California at 1046 Calle Recodo Unit K. Come test ride any of our e-trikes before you purchase to ensure you're making the right choice, and join our community. We have a Facebook group called 630 Peddlers. There's thousands of members in the group. Join before you purchase to talk to our existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends, and finally download the app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.